Hello and welcome to another topic to be discussed today. We have a very interesting one, and I think most of you will like it. Have you ever stopped to think about how much time you actually spend online? Every scroll, every tap, every notification, it all shapes how we see the world, how we think, and even how we feel. How the internet is changing our brains. The internet is everywhere. It's in our pockets, on our wrists, even in our homes, whispering answers to every question we could ever ask. It connects us, entertains us, and informs us. But it's also quietly reshaping the way we think, remember, and even feel. Let's explore how the internet is changing our brains, in ways that might surprise you. Before the internet, if you wanted to learn something, you had to seek it out. Books, libraries, teachers. Now, information is instant. We've trained our brains to expect answers within seconds, not minutes or hours. This constant access to knowledge has made us efficient learners, but it's also made us impatient. When something takes longer than a few seconds to load, we feel frustrated, as if we're being denied something we deserve right now. Our brains crave that instant gratification, and the internet delivers it like a digital dopamine machine. Every time we refresh a feed, check for notifications, or open a new tab, we're gambling with anticipation. Will there be something new, something exciting, something that gives us that little hit of reward? Most of the time, there is, and our brains love it. That's why we scroll endlessly. The internet doesn't just give us information, it gives us stimulation. It keeps our brains wired for novelty, always seeking the next interesting thing. But there's a cost. When we're constantly switching from one thing to another, from a meme to a headline, to a video, to a message, our brains struggle to focus deeply. Scientists call this continuous partial attention. It is not multitasking. It is being partially attentive to everything and deeply focused on nothing. Over time, this rewires how we think. We lose patience for long, complex tasks like reading a book or having a conversation without checking our phones. Neuroscientists say the brain is plastic. It can adapt, grow, and reorganize itself. And that's exactly what it's been doing since we went online. One fascinating change is how we store and recall information. We no longer memorize facts because we don't have to. Instead, we remember where to find them. It's called the Google effect. If you know you can look something up, your brain doesn't save it. It saves the location, not the content. Our brains are outsourcing memory to the cloud. Efficient, yes, but it means we retain less. We've become curators of knowledge, not keepers of it. Think about how you read online. Most people skim. We scan headlines, bold words, and move on. Our brains have adapted to skimming mode. Perfect for fast browsing, not for deep understanding. Studies show that reading on screens activates different brain regions than reading books. On screens, we jump. On paper, we flow. That affects comprehension, memory, and even empathy. And empathy might be changing too. Online, we see faces and words, but through screens. Our brains don't engage the same emotional pathways as real face-to-face interaction. We're communicating constantly, but feeling less connected. Ironically, being more connected can make us feel lonelier. Social media amplifies this. We see everyone's highlight reels and compare. That endless comparison loop fuels anxiety and insecurity, especially among younger generations who've never known life without the internet. But the internet isn't all bad. It's expanding our minds in remarkable ways. We're exposed to ideas, cultures, and perspectives that previous generations couldn't imagine. Our worldview is broader. We can learn any skill, study any topic, and connect with anyone. Our brains are becoming more adaptive, better at recognizing patterns and processing information. We're evolving mentally for the digital age. Still, our brains need quiet. They need time to rest, wander, and be bored. Boredom isn't bad. It's the birthplace of creativity. When we're constantly stimulated, we rarely enter the reflective state that leads to insight and imagination. The internet feeds attention, but creativity grows in silence. Be honest, when was the last time you were bored without grabbing your phone? Most of us fill every pause with something digital. The elevator ride, the bus stop, those few minutes before bed, all filled with screens. It's as if we've forgotten how to be still. Comment below, do you think the internet is improving our brains or dulling them? Let's go deeper. When we scroll or engage online, we're constantly releasing dopamine, the feel-good chemical. But unlike natural activities, the internet gives dopamine effortlessly. That's why scrolling feels addictive. Over time, it desensitizes our reward system, making real life feel dull. A walk, a chat, or reading might not trigger the same buzz as a feed refresh. That's why a digital detox feels uncomfortable. Your brain is recalibrating. The changes are also structural. Brain imaging shows that heavy internet use strengthens pathways for multitasking and visual attention, but weakens ones for deep focus and memory. It's like building muscles. The ones you use grow, the others fade. The good news? You can train both. Using the internet doesn't mean losing focus. It depends on how you use it, consciously or passively. Researchers talk about cognitive offloading, relying on devices to think for us. GPS for directions, notes for memory, search engines for facts. It's practical, but reduces mental effort. When we stop remembering phone numbers, routes, or facts, those brain circuits go quiet. The brain chooses the easiest path. If we outsource everything, what happens to our ability to think deeply and solve problems? Maybe this is just evolution. Humans have always built tools to extend our minds. Writing, printing, computers. The internet is the next leap. It's not replacing our intelligence, it's amplifying it. We're learning to merge intuition with technology. In the future, our adaptability may define intelligence itself, but attention is now the most valuable currency. Every app, every notification competes to keep us hooked. Algorithms learn what makes us click or rage and feed us more. Our brains are predictable, and the internet plays us perfectly. That's why stopping the scroll feels impossible. You're not weak. You're up against technology designed to hold you. Yet we're not powerless. The same internet that distracts us can empower us, if we use it intentionally. Turn off notifications, schedule screen-free hours, and choose content that challenges your mind instead of numbing it. When you do, your brain rewires again, for focus, curiosity, and creativity. We're in a digital revolution. Like writing or printing, the internet is reshaping how humans think. Future generations may have shorter attention spans, but also faster pattern recognition and deeper creativity. The truth is, our brains have always evolved with technology. The only constant is adaptation. So the real question isn't if the internet is good or bad for our brains, it's whether we're using it or it's using us. Our minds are evolving with every click and scroll. And maybe, just maybe, this evolution will help us understand what it truly means to be human in the digital age. Thank you for being here on this topic. I hope you found it interesting. I will see you very soon. If you have anything you would like to share, feel free to comment your bright ideas below. A smarter you, one fact at a time.